everyone! Today we're going to talk about another one of Kreg's brand new pocket hole jigs, the Kreg 520. As the name suggests, this is the middle model between the 320 and the 720. And I have a full tutorial on how to use either of those jigs as well. And I will add a link to that in the description below. Now let's talk about the 520. So the 520 Pro comes with the easy set drill bit, the square drive bit, the hex wrench, which is also a thickness gauge, and a stop collar for the drill bit. We've got a little 2-inch face clamp and a couple of the commonly used pocket hole screw sizes. So let's talk about this jig. So first off, this is the drill guide. This is what helps guide the stepped drill bit to help make the pocket holes at the 15-degree angle. This has markings for 3 of the most commonly used material thicknesses, and this gray button right here can be used to move the jig up and down to set the thickness of the material that you're using. The front of the drill guide has an anti-slip coating, which makes sure that the workpiece stays nice and tight in there as you are making your pocket holes. This right here is the squeeze clamp. So you basically press it up until your workpiece clamps into the jig, and then you can simply hit the release trigger to release it. Up here is a quick reset knob, and I will talk about that when we make the pocket holes. Another cool feature of this is that this grip can be rotated around. So you could adjust this to be in whatever position is comfortable for your hand. So let's go ahead and talk about how to use this. First things first. Anytime you're making pocket holes, you want to measure the thickness of your board to make sure that you can compensate for any deviations. You may think that you bought a 3/4 inch board, but there can be variations. So you want to use the thickness gauge right here and make sure that your board is 3/4 inches. Now this is 3/4 inches, so we are going to go ahead and set the drill guide to 3/4 inches. And we do that by simply squeezing this gray button and moving our jig up and down until it is at the thickness we want it to be. Now we can simply place the jig in here. Next, we have to set up our drill bit. Now this is an easy set drill bit, so it already has markings for the 3 commonly used material thicknesses. And all we do is insert the stop collar so that the window is showing the thickness you need, and then we go ahead and tighten it. And that's it. We are ready to make the pocket holes. Now I can simply clamp my board into the jig by squeezing the clamp until it's nice and tight. And now I can go ahead and make my pocket holes. Now one quick thing before you start making the pocket holes. If you are going to be making pocket holes in multiple boards of the same thickness, you don't want to always release this, put it back in, and then squeeze it again and again and again. So instead, once you clamp the first board, you can tighten the quick reset knob. What this does is when you release the clamp, it releases the jig just enough to remove your board. And then you can place your next board, and then it just takes a couple of squeezes for the board to be clamped inside. Now here's the cool thing about this jig. It is super versatile. So you could hold it like this and make your pocket holes. Or you can turn it over this way and make your pocket holes. Now say this is not a very comfortable hold for you, you can rotate the handle until it is comfortable. Although I don't think this is very comfortable. But you know, there can be situations where you have to put it like this. In that case, you could simply clamp it this way and make your pocket holes. Now the drill guides have lines on them which actually tell you exactly where the pocket holes will be formed. So you can use that as a guide for placement of the board in there. Now let's go ahead and make the pocket holes. And there is the pocket hole. Now, since I have the quick reset button engaged, I can simply place this, center it, and clamp it with a couple of squeezes and go ahead and make my next set of pocket holes. Now, if you're done making pocket holes in boards of similar thicknesses, you can simply release the quick reset knob and hit the release button to reset the jig. Now you can simply go ahead and attach your boards using wood glue and the appropriate size pocket hole screws. My boards are 3/4 inches thick, so I'm going to be using 1 1/4 inch pocket hole screws. This is where the face clamp comes into play, where you can attach the boards in and make them completely level. Now you can simply drive your pocket hole screws using the square drive bit. I actually have a whole bunch of articles and resources on how to use pocket hole jigs, all the settings and all the thicknesses and all the tips and tricks to be successful with them. And I will add a link to that in the description below, so be sure to check that out. This is a great portable jig, but what if you wanted to clamp it to your workbench? It does have a slot right here which accepts the Kreg pocket hole jig clamp, which you do have to purchase separately. However, if you wanted to upgrade this and add a few bells and whistles to it to make this more of a workbench jig, you can buy the docking station, which is sold separately. So the docking station comes with this guy, which helps us dock the 520 onto the workbench, but it also comes with the material support wings, which include a pocket hole jig clamp, an adjustable stop. These act as storage boxes as well for screws and stuff. To use the 520 with the docking station, you basically clamp the docking station to the workbench with the jig clamp, and then you simply slide the Kreg 520 into it until it snaps into place. And then you can use the material support wings to attach onto the sides, and now you have a nice big pocket hole station. Now let's talk about what I really think about this jig. I think this is a great option for someone who's just starting out woodworking. It comes in at just about $100. It's actually $99. And it is pretty versatile. It is lightweight, it is compact, and it can be used in various configurations, which is awesome. It is sort of the best of both worlds. You can clamp it to your workbench if you need to. You can move it around. You can take it to your front yard to work with it. You can take it to your backyard. You could take it to your neighbor's house if that's where you want to build. You can basically do a lot of projects with this. Now for narrower or thinner material, Kreg also has the option of a micro drill guide, which you can buy separately. You can simply slide out the drill guide and replace it with the micro drill guide. And it also comes with its own narrow drill bit, which also is a quick set drill bit. So that is the Kreg 520. Overall, it is a great entry-level jig. It is super lightweight, compact, and easy to use. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And now, here are a few pocket hole jig projects that you might enjoy.